are back. How much of a delay do we have in this one? Oh, it's not much actually. It's 20 seconds maybe? No, maybe 40. Anyway, hello everyone. Let's take that one from the top. As you've already seen, we've got this, the MX-71 Recon Dropship. I got this last week, it arrived a few days ago, I picked it up today. It's missing some stuff, I replaced most of it. There's like one instance of something I have to just substitute with something else, but it's not that significant. We have the back with the other sets of the wave and the play features. And on the top, they reference the incorrect figure. That faceprint doesn't show up in the set, but it doesn't matter because it's Mars mission, so they can get away with it. Right. Now that we're basically all caught up to what we were talking about on the last attempt of the stream, let's get into it. So I'm gonna make it so I can see both YouTube Studio and the software at the same time, at least somewhat. Alright, we're finally cracking in. Let me just angle this down. Sorry, angle this down. Push it away so that you have a view of the table. Because yes, I am still just using my laptop webcam for all this. So here's the box. Just open the flaps. Actually, I'll just reach it down. There's all this stuff. The box is empty. Oh, you don't see that from this angle, but believe me, it is. Toss it aside. And this actually didn't come with the instructions, which is interesting. So, yeah, I'll just have to have the digital instructions off screen. I mean, even if I had actual instructions, they'd probably be off screen too, because I don't have that kind of space. Right. But before I get into that, I suppose I should open these up. And sort of put them in some sort of reasonable setup. No surprise, the bags with the black pieces and the bags with the white pieces are the biggest ones. This is Mars mission. What are you talking about? Stream is still running fine. At least that's what it claims for me. Even though my Wi-Fi bars are quite low, but that doesn't seem to be affecting this, and frankly, I'm not gonna question it. Ooh, we're actually very caught up now. Okay, I poured the grey pieces. It's okay, man. It's still maybe half a minute off, but I assume that's normal. I'm gonna keep the small pieces in their bag right here. A bit. Actually, that's too far off to the side. Is that works? So we've got all the trans pieces right here. Naturally, I have to try. And then there's this last bag is kind of just pieces that don't warrant a bag of their own, I guess. Oops. Can you see these? Okay, they're a bit off to the side, but you can kind of see them. And then finally we've got our two astronauts. Which, let me show you actually what their face prints are, because none of them are the cheekbones guy. We've got this dude who shows up, I think, in the Astrofighter as well, the tiny thing. And then we've got the Alpha Team Deep Freeze guy as well. Or did he show up was this face print before Deep Freeze as well? I have no idea actually. But he also shows up in the Switch Fighter, which was the only set of substance that we had, or that I had as a child. And then here, there's 4 of these aliens. Right, and that's it for the pieces. It's actually a little bit unusually alien leaning. Okay, well that was fun and exciting. Sorry, the Wi-Fi died for a moment there. That's something that likes to happen. That's separate from it going completely dark. It's sometimes just like, or my computer will just disconnect from it for like, I don't know, the thrill or something. Right. So, starting with the building of the set, we have both the astronauts. We can kind of see them there. Yeah. They're both astronauts, and one of these unfortunate aliens is being placed in a hypersled. Meanwhile, oh, whoops, hold on, I just now realized I should probably link this in the Discord. There we go. Okay. So this set actually, this has 2 hypersleds, because it has 2 tubes for them. But the other one is using the little sort of pin connection indents that these ones have to house a few of the energy crystals. Do they just call them energy crystals in the Mars mission as well? Or did they have some like actually interesting naming this time around? Because I feel it's always energy crystals. Or I guess in power miners it's power crystals. But you know, same thing. Anyway, now for the actual building. We're starting off with the rover. You know what? I'm just gonna spill these actually. Keeping them in the bags. There we go. Give me a bunch of these grey pins to start off with. On the edges and one in the center. Which vehicle is my favorite from Mars mission? That's a good question. It depends really on what the sort of criteria is. Because if we're talking purely aesthetic, then I think the trike might take it. Because I think the trike is cool. But of course the trike has its issues, shall we say. Such as its, you know, sort of main gimmick centering around bending to like Technic axles, just using the tolerance of the piece to gain a sort of suspension effect. Like that's horrific. I remember actually back when I got it, I still had this naive trust in Lego, and I was like, no, surely they thought about this. Like, surely to do something like this, they would have to know that it would work, but, I mean, case in point, I haven't actually tried, because I'm scared to. I should try it at some point, to actually see whether the axles do just snap if you push it down all the way. But yeah, that's a bit rough. I don't know what the thought process was. But then, as a set overall, I think, I don't know, the hypersonic operations aircraft is neat, the way it kind of splits apart, and I also love the alien vehicle in that. It looks like some kind of like lowrider almost, like a lowrider equivalent of like a spaceship, and I think that's very cool. But then I think the what's it called? The armored drilling unit is really cool. The way it's sort of just like it's like a Russian doll of vehicles. And also just the main build itself, with its actually like good suspension system, is cool. With the sort of the way the different like the sections of the wheels can like tilt differently, like the front wheels tilt sort of side to side. Oh wait, let me bring my hands in the frame. Oh, they tilt sort of side to side, and then the rear wheels go up and down, or like forward and back in. So let me adjust the camera just a little bit so you have a better view, because it occurred to me that you can't actually see what the hell I'm doing. So this is where we are right now. We have a bit of a frame, like so. Got a bit of an arm coming from it. And this is where I have to make a slight substitution. You see, this is supposed to come with a white sort of 2x3 wedges that sort of slim as they go inwards, but I don't have that, and the set didn't come with it either, or rather the what I ordered didn't come with it. Now, actually, based on how this is built, right, what I could do, I think, because what I ordered just came with some extra bricks like this to sort of fill in the space. But I grabbed some kind of wedges of my own, and then I just have some 1x2s to fill up the space. But given that it would come over this right here, I can't like build it so the slope comes in immediately, so I'll have to make it a bit of a rounder shape where these fill up this space and then get reinforced from the top. So this isn't like 100% accurate. Also, wait, now I'm realizing this is missing a little bit. I would need something more to fill this up. 1 second. Let me use my awesome screen. Alright, we're back. I grabbed a 1x4 to sort of fill in this space here. Oh, there. You see? So it doesn't quite slope as it should, but it has at least a little bit of slope. So it kind of evokes how it's supposed to look. Right, now we've got one of these sort of S-shaped brackets, which comes down, and this creates a sort of cockpit, or at least the evocation of a cockpit. Because, as far as I'm aware, there's not really controls on this thing. It kind of, you just put your minifigure in there. Similar to the what is it called? The crystal crawler, the power miners combiner model. Not the underwater thing. Except the crystal crawler is like awesome, and it's also a combiner model, so it gets a pass. This just well, they tried to take as little away from the main ship as possible, or the main, I guess, 2 ships. And that's fair, I suppose. Right, and now we've got a bit of an interesting case. We're using one of these, like, tiny turbo / like, older, like, 4-wide car. What are these? Wheel covers. Are they the mud covers? I don't remember what they're called. Anyway, one of these, and it's gonna come on top of this whole thing, along with some other pieces, such as this fence. This is very, very crucial to this whole setup. As assuming you're not familiar with this set's gimmick already, or you didn't see it from the back of the box, you will soon see. So I see we have another viewer. Hello, welcome. See, this comes in to give our first little splotch of orange on this vehicle. Also, can I say it's a little weird? I keep moving my hands off to the left accidentally, because this camera, at least for the streaming purposes, it doesn't mirror the way you'd expect a sort of screen or a camera that goes in the direction of screen to reflect. Like, it doesn't work like a mirror. Hence why, like, text, like on the box, isn't mirrored. But that's also really disorienting for me, because I'm used to, wait, hold on. There you can see the text. That's also kind of disorienting, because then the way my hands move just in real life and the way they move on the screen are like opposite, so I have to keep conscious of that. That's a little something to get used to, I suppose. Right, and now we're adding the strangely ubiquitous drill piece For some reason, this, which I'm assuming is another Bionicle thing, based on just how it looks, for some reason is heavily featured in Mars Mission. There's just so many little like side build, even main build things that just use this. Like the little car in the hypersonic operations aircraft. Then there's the main drill head of the drilling unit. And then there's the little drilling vehicle in the alien strike. And all of them just use this thing. And then there's of course this set. It's a bit of a curious case. Wanu Astral. Alright, thanks. Yeah, I have like very little knowledge about early Bionicle. All I know is like Glatorians and stuff after that. Actually, I mean, I know a little bit of like Mystica as well. That's like the very first Bionicle stuff we ever got was Mystica. We actually got the Toa Gully, and then we got Krika and Gorast. Those are the ones that we own. Shout out Krika, by the way. Krika's awesome. Oh, Pezzy, that's actually a very good point. Though, I mean, these are also a lot smaller than what the power miners drills would fit with. Like the power miners drills are something like this. They're the smallest ones. That would be kind of weird. But yeah, there's a very good point. Also, welcome. The stream seems to be running fine right now, and not particularly delayed. So that's good. Oh, hold on, I'm almost forgetting. We've got our esteemed astronaut. He's gonna sit in here, in this suggested canopy, and close it on him, and there he is. I guess one argument you could make for the lack of controls is that if you look, there's this sticker, and I mean that looks like it's something. Maybe it's like a HUD, you know, on the other side of the screen. Right, and then we're adding whatever this is supposed to be, honestly. Like, there's just this little build you make, and it just kind of like sits on the side. I think here. Yeah, like that. And they're just kind of, we're supposed to point it a little bit backwards. Who knows what this is? Stream no longer lags. Ooh. Oh yeah. You remember I watched a little space snooper video? I wonder whose video that might have been. But yeah. So this is something. I guess you could pick it up and it's like a scanner or something, but I don't know. Right. But enough dilly-dallying. We've got some orange wheels to attach to this. Alright, and the first build of the set is complete. And here's also our own one and only substitution. I don't know if you were here to see it, Pezzy, but there's supposed to be like a 2x3 wedge brick here, but I've substituted with something that looks vaguely similar. Yeah, it is a bit of an odd place, but I'm I'm really just trying to reach as to what that's supposed to be. I mean, maybe it's like a scanner, but why is it positioned like this? I guess it kind of lines up with where the drill would be, but whatever. I think this is a fine enough build. It is, of course, a little bit of a just a bit. It's not a lot, is it? It's kind of just that, but it serves its purpose, I think. Oh wait, I'm not going in frame. Here it is. But we'll set him. Move these piece piles. He'll be right there. He can entertain, and I'll set our other astronaut here, and then we have both the hyper sleds as well. One with the crystals, one with the alien, and they can sit in the vicinity as well. Right. Now to help this alien guy out a little bit. Next up is the alien craft, which, at least from what I've seen, it's definitely one of the more unique alien ships. Also, do y'all like this little orange border I added for the Mars mission vibe? I thought it'd be nice to have something beyond just the webcam. Yeah, I like the orange wheels as well. I mean, they're the first color I got these wheels in, back with the Switch Fighter. But out of the colors I know, I do think the orange is still my favorite. Which actually, what colors does it come in? There's orange, there's white, there's black, there's blue. Is there red? Does it exist in red? Or any other color? I feel like I've seen red somewhere, but I might just be mixing with something else. Alright, we're starting to put this thing together. We've got a random stack of stuff. Whoops, that's not where that goes. There. So whenever I see a solid like brick in. Oh yeah, there's red in Atlantis. You're right. Also Ganymetal. Oh, I didn't know about that. Yeah. That's from the Neptune sub, right? I always wanted to have that when I was a child, but it was just a little bit too big, I think. And you know, that's fair enough. Maybe I'll get it someday, but I don't know if I'm actually that invested in Atlantis. It's a fine theme, but not actually really my thing. Already got enough things I'm sort of into. Also, whenever I see dark like a solid brick in dark bluish gray, my brain just kind of activates, because I sure need those quite a lot for power miners stuff. I'm gonna have to. I currently have. There's actually some updates on the. Oh, it shows up in dark red. Ah. When would it ever have shown up in dark red? That's interesting. Also, 1 second, my headphones are being a bit of a problem. Right. Yes, that's quite curious. Yes, also to update on last stream's events. I've made some of those. I've made 2 of those little base platforms. I'm gonna have to make 2 more. but I'm definitely gonna need a bit more Duplo than I currently have. And also that thing whenever it's complete is gonna need like, it's gonna be like a good 100 bricks tall. So yeah, I'm gonna need a lot of dark bluish gray. What's that? It's from a 2020 New Year celebration set as a drum. Ooh. Well, that is interesting. I'm also fumbling in my quest to locate a 2x2 brick. So that's a bit awkward. I know it's in here. Oh, there it is in fact. Oh, now we're making two little sub-assemblies using these. Oh, by the way, I realized today that I've made a bit of a grave error when it comes to the Power Racers retrospective. I said the first, I said the first commercial was in 2007, but not only was I corrected on that in the comments, there was one for 2006, but I think it was Matthew Murdigan here in the chat. At least the profile picture is familiar. But not only that, I also discovered that, or rather I remembered that I had even featured the ones for the 2005 wave in a video of my own, just earlier. So that's a bit awkward. See, that's what happens when you leave a sort of research heavy project like this just like alone for 5 months and then come back to it. You're gonna forget some stuff. And what's more is I discovered today is that there was a commercial for the 2004 wave as well. So there's commercials for every wave, which is then something I'm gonna have to cover in the pit stop video whenever we get there. And the gunmetal is from Nexo Knights. I have some gunmetal wheels that are like Mars Mission, just not of this size, but I have like from like the trike, like that scale of wheel, and there was some like slightly smaller one as well. That came with Macy's trike thing. Is your name Macy or is it just Mace? In any case. And now we got these little crystal energy sub-assemblies. Ooh. Now we've got something interesting coming up with this little thing. So I connect 2 pins to the bottom, and then I add these these lime hoses to it. And I have a hunch that these lime hoses are like at least series exclusive to Mars Mission. Or if not that, then probably rare in any case. Because I've never seen these before. I mean, they might even be set exclusive, but I'm not gonna jump to those kinds of conclusions. This small wheels were from poly bags and from large set side builds like the Fortrix. Ah, I see. We never had much Nexo knights, so I'm not too knowledgeable. But I do like that they just reused those molds again. Maybe you could do a slick Mars mission recolor with those. Oh, that's interesting. They show at this point in the instructions to just construct two of these aliens, like as if they're just like sub-assemblies, and just put them on these. There's these hinge bricks, which is where their legs will go. So I assume that that's where they're seated. Here they just kind of stand. Oh, but they don't sit yet. First, it's time to make the wings. Or I don't know. Can you really classify these as wings? Because they're sort of just like little side plates that are sort of wing adjacent. But whatever. So tell me, it's telling me to place this whole wedge brick, but the instructions showed us like a direct, like orthographic top-down view, so you can't tell. But of course the bill of materials is there to help. I'll see actually if I can show this, if my webcam picks it up. Oh yeah, that looks a little bit overexposed, but you see that? It's a little bit funny. I am just building from off my phone, because well, we do have like an iPad and I thought about using that, but it is out of charge. So alas, this it is. Ooh. Yeah, they don't waste any time here, this just kind of comes together immediately. Whoops. Oh, my headphones died, but it occurred to me that they aren't really necessary. And by that I mean they just ran out of, or they didn't run out, but they closed by themselves. They don't really have any sound going on other than well, of course, the microphone that I'm speaking into. I was gonna have music, and I did have music at the very start, but it was like, I couldn't hear it until I started the stream, and I thought, yeah, maybe that's how it works, but it was like comically loud, and I couldn't control it in the stream, so I didn't want to just like a jump scare everyone that clicks onto the stream with incredibly loud music, so I just removed it. You know, we learn this stuff as we go. Also, we've got one of the power crystals here powering this wing. And that will attach onto the axle of this thing. Alright, look, now we're starting to get some shape. And then it is, of course, the same song and dance for the other side. Anyway, how's everyone doing on the viewer side of things? Anything eventful? Any fun summer plans, perhaps? Alright, and here's the last power crystal used in the second wing, and that brings the total up to 5 for this set. Ah. Yeah, please do. I'm very curious to know the results. Might take a while. Why is that? You can just go to the set and like scroll down the bill of materials and click on the lime green hose, and then see like how many sets it's included in that color. Also, we're starting to get some shape. Or well, I mean we already were, but we're even more so. Oh. Right, we're making 2 of these. You know, Bricklink catalogs every length as a different piece. I mean, yeah, but if you just go to the if you just go to this set, right, the Recon Dropship, and you find it in the set inventory, and then click on it there, or does it become this like weird mega thing where it's like it like shows all the different lengths as like mold variations? It just brings you to this like general hub or what? Friction. Friction? What do you mean friction welding? Oh, right, you mean because connecting these, yeah. That might be a bit of a tough one. But it's whatever. These guns, or I mean sensors, if you're naive, they come on the sides here. And then there's this rotary cannon at the front. Oh. You gotta connect it with this. There we go. And it seems I missed the part where I connect these tubes to the backs of these guns. Right. There we are, and then let's see, bend this guy down and push him down. bend and push, and there they are. Hold on. Both seated well. Can't really keep this on screen in any sort of reasonable way, so I'll just have it butt in here. Oh, and they also show in the instructions that you have this last alien, so he just kind of stands. Apparently this set's hoses are 10 studs long, which is exactly 8 centimeters. Yes, it is. That's interesting. Right. Anyway, now that's done, and now we're on to the main ship. Wonderful. And we're actually onto the cockpit segment first. Which starts with one of these. Yeah, did you find out whether it's set exclusive in Lime, or like rare or anything like that? Probably shouldn't sit at such an angle. This is just all technique right now. Nearly there, alright. They're making like 24 different lengths. I mean, yeah, but if you've worked out what size this set uses, then isn't that... whatever. I'm not entirely sure. I don't quite understand your problem, but I suppose you'll have to explain it to me in chat at some point, or like the voice chat. I'm a bit too locked in on a building. We're finally tapping back into the white pieces now. And here we have the ball and socket. This is the... this looks like the... or no, is it the... no, this is the older type. The ball piece seems to be a bit yellowed. Oh, there it is. Boom. Breaking news, the hoses in Lime is exclusive to this set. Hell yeah. That's what my spidey senses told me, but you never know. Thanks for doing the research. And we've got what looks like some sort of missile array here. Longest range of the part is 32 studs long. To translate blue only came in a racer's antenna pack for a remote control car. Whoa. That is something. That is kind of seems incredibly random. Now we fill out this this cockpit piece a small bit. So I assume the long translate blue flex tube is like, no, flex tube hose is like comically expensive. Set that aside. We've got a bit of a sub-assembly. Some orange cheese slopes. Oh. €4 to €5. Wow. Right. Well, I guess that is pretty in line for racers, because people don't really care about that thing. No, hey, that's all the better for those who do, such as myself. Now we've got a bit of shaping going on here. There's a bit of a flimsy corner here, though. Actually, no, it's not that severe. And this ship, the first of its kind in this set to do so, actually does have some kind of controls. It has these levers. The RC car is not even made out of Lego. What? It's just like one big chunk. Rounded slopes here to give a bit more curvature to this thing. And we've got another sub-assembly This is all just using small pieces though. Oh, that's really weird. Are there not even like any studs on it anywhere? No studs? What? Alright, well I can see why it's not a very popular product then. That's worse Lego compatibility than Galador. And that's a tough one to sort of beat. But I suppose they wanted to have a hand in the RC car market as well then. Those fits over the antenna and can be attached with some specialized parts. Right. We've got this little computer screen that also goes in here. Wait, really? Hold on. One moment here. Okay, that's kind of comical. Right, so observe this. We've got a computer screen, we've got some space here, we've got the levers here, and then just like a deeper pit here. So you'd think the astronaut sits here. There's only 6 slots, ranging from 70 to like 400. Okay, well, that's cool. I guess maybe it was very rare. Also because no one bought it, so I guess that's something. But look, in classic Mars mission fashion, your pilot sits here actually, in front of the levers, because you have to lay him down. This just feels a bit stupid, I think. But I mean, if they don't fill in the space back here, then I mean, he should just be able to sit back there as well, and that should be fine. But I mean, we'll see what this set does. Actually, I don't know if this set does anything, because the next step is to put on the canopy. Hold on. Oh, right. I forgot some curved slopes. Right here. And right here. And then this comes on. Oh, no, I have to fold the screen a bit more. I want to have a bit of an angle though. Does the screen have to stand up for me? Well, that's a bit silly. Whatever. Here we have the head with its articulation as well. But before we're quite done, we do still have some stuff to attach to the sides in the forms of these little pods. more stuff which attaches to the pods. Yeah. Megaphone, a clip, and then a lightsaber hilt, and then a transdark blue cone. Makes his cannon. Even a minifigure could wield that. But these are instead attached. As follows. They're actually turned inwards. But you get a little thing like this. You get two of them even. Bring in this. Boom. Boom. This is the completed head right here. So now both of our astronauts are piloting probably functional vehicles, though it doesn't seem to be a feature of the head that disconnects. Rather, it's just kind of built that way. Now I believe we're onto a wing. Get a drink of my homemade iced tea. Nice thing to have in the heat of the summer. I've got some more of these trans blue studs, or trans dark blue even, which is just the regular trans blue. But alas, put this and this becomes kind of an engine. Right, and these connect, so there's a bit of articulation available here. Oh, and these it's placed like this, so it's seamless unless you tilt it. That's neat. Right, and then it's just kind of a mirror image. For the opposite side. have one of the Technic competition cannons, or dart cannons, or whatnot. It's mounted upside down on this other wing. Like so. And then it gets this wing piece on top, and the dart is loaded in. However, I'm not going to keep it loaded, because I do not want to wear out the spring. Alright, we're on to bag 3, which I would assume is the final one. That does just seem like the rest of the body of the ship. At least based on what the instructions show me. But I had the impression that this was a 4-bag set. So I don't know, maybe there's a little something in the last bag. Or maybe there's just a split between two. Who knows? And frankly, who cares? I'm building the whole thing anyway. Right. So I gotta say, all of these pieces are in like fantastic condition. Like these are flawless, and they are like squeaky clean. There's absolutely no sign of yellowing on any of the white pieces. A minifig-sized missile is a bit tough to pass as a sensor. Yeah, no, that is just a missile. That is just a dart. No one is claiming that that was a sensor. At least not with any dignity. Mint, absolutely. And I got this off of Tori as well. It's like, it's not the kind of treatment you necessarily anticipate. I will say though, some of these pins, I don't know if this shows up on camera at all, but some of these pins are definitely of the sort of brittle blue color. I don't know if it shows up there at all, but there's just that slightly off shade. Which, fun little trivia fact about a recent video I did is the Night Racer. When I originally got it, that thing was like head to toe in brittle blue. Like it was just all brittle blue. But I got basically all of it replaced. The only thing I didn't get replaced for the video was like 2 Technic bricks that are on like the inside of the thing. So I figured it'll be fine because you can't see them anyway. Blue headlight bricks. Go back here. I don't know what these are for. Actually, they're probably just gonna be like thrusters, right? No, wait, but they get blocked off by these orange grill pieces that come right here. And there's this massive wing that spans most of this. Thought brittle blue was only a problem with sun bleached parts. Had one 4x6 plates absolutely explode on me. It could be that's what it is, because it does. And the brittle blue color is essentially what blue would look like if it yellowed, so I assume that's what it is. But it's weird that it's only like a few of these blue pins that kind of look like it. Especially given that, like, the white is fine. But who knows? Maybe the white has been, like, treated with, like, I don't remember what it is you do with white parts to make them, like, white again. It was some fluid. I don't want to say the wrong thing in case someone uses this stream as a source. But it was something. Maybe they've done that. Maybe in, like, a month from now all this would look horrible in yellow. But, I mean, who knows? I suppose I'll hope not. Right, and now for the other half of the play feature. We got a rubber piece and this Technic thing. And they come together. There we go. These are also very easy to lose and replace. True. I see then they've got this other red axle here in the rubber piece, probably just to give it the necessary stability for the play feature. Subassembly meets subassembly. And we got this little pin thing that the van will be able to sit in. Or not a pin, but rather like a sort of pinch. And that just slots into the bottom of this. And oh, here it is. This 1x4 plate comes on the other side. Alright. Now next up is some sort of chunk. I assume it's gonna go on the top of this. It does, in the instructions, it does just kind of look like a lump of pieces. But we'll see. Surely there's a vision. Okay, these bricks have the same texture, like if you put glass in the like dishwasher and then you take it out and it has that really sort of grippy texture. These are the same way. So you know it's very clean. Which apparently some people like hate the feeling of that texture, but I think it's awesome. That texture just has me thinking that it's like, yep, must be very clean. from. They come in like that. Then we're just tossing on a couple 2x6 plates to reinforce everything, I assume. Yeah. Oh. And then these sort of round out the shape. Kind of. It's weird, Lego doesn't really have a perfect piece for this. Because these look like the piece you would use, but it doesn't quite line up perfectly because this still has like the slight flat end before it tapers off, while this doesn't have that flat end. So there's a bit of a lip. But it works well enough. And then you add these lights. And yeah, this is just what the instructions showed me. I just make this lump of bits, and it actually connects to the bottom. Like so. There we are. I have to take these 4 7-line lift arms and put a pin in them, and whoop, connect them like that to ensure that this thing stays together. Like so. Oh. And now you just take the head, and it slots in right there. We are approaching completion. Oh. Right, so these headlight bricks have little hoses attached. These are definitely a bit more common. They're not like super common, but like they show up in this, and they show up in the Alien Infiltrator, or is it, oh no, Alien something. It's one of the bigger alien ships, and also a number of other sets in Mars Mission. Right, and then we get these. Yeah, this thing can kind of sit already. Right. Boom. Oh yeah, and the sticker placements are pretty good. There's some slight issues. There's a bit of a bubble with this one, you see that? Bit of a welt right there, but other than that, they're pretty good. Nothing to complain about. Yeah, no, they're not. That is definitely kind of one of the drawbacks of Mars mission, is just the absolute abundance of stickers. And also the fact, how like necessary the stickers are, because without the stickers, these things don't look half as good. Maybe that's a little uncharitable, but it's definitely like a little plain if you don't have them. Okay. And in classic instruction fashion, this thing's just refusing to show me where the sticker pieces go, and there's 2 of these that have stickers and the rest don't. And I don't know which are where. Also, I'm noticing now that these point in different directions. So there's something wrong. Yeah, this is the last place where these pieces are added, so I'm just gonna put the... Actually, you know what? Oh, I looked over at the box, and this is actually the place where they go, is right here on this sort of back wing. So that's nice. Right, it's beginning to take shape. It looks like a fish right now, and there's definitely still a number of pins that are exposed. So we're not quite done yet. Oh, now we get to make these engines. Oh, do we? Oh, yes, there we go. One of these got stuck inside the one of these tubes. So that was a little bit awkward. But it escaped. Oh, and we're using the last of the half pins. Look at that. Check these out. Pretty neat. Right. Oh. Right, so these connect back here. Whoops. So these can be angled as well. You can imagine that being a bit annoying if you got loose pins, but like that. You can angle these a bit, which is a neat feature. Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna need a tighter pin for this one because this one keeps flopping. Or is it the hole on this thing that's loose? Whatever. That should do. Ooh. Alright. It is time for the landing gear. Which in this set is pretty cool. I think it's these sort of feet. Alright, this is a pretty cool thing. So these already kind of work as they are, right? Oh. They're connected to these Technic pieces. But this one goes a little further beyond. You get these pieces, these claws, come in. You push them through the Technic piece and they connect to the dish. And then you get this lance. And it snaps like this and it keeps them all in place a little bit more. Then just get one of these and they connect to the base of these lift arms. Like so. And let's just repeat the process. But this time we speed run it. That's the last technical bushing used. It was a place for minifigures to hang on to. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, maybe you could step on one of the little sort of foot pad things and hold on to that bar, and then the dropship can take off. That is a very good point. So I'm not certain what that crown next to your name signifies. You've gone from 2 to 1. I assume it's who's commented the most, but I feel like that would have already been you. Or at least, or like who's ever chatted the most. So we've definitely been the most active chatter. That's how they say that for this one, that the handle of the lance should point inwards, but on the other one they said it should point outwards. Well, that's just crazy people talk. I'm gonna have them both inwards. YouTube works in mysterious ways. I couldn't have put it better myself. I mean, have you seen the views on my Cyclops video? For some reason that thing just skyrocketed, like absolutely crazy. Well, everything else kind of stays reasonably the same. And that was a video I made 7 years ago now, because I made it, I guess that might have been part of the popularity. It's just I made it around when Subnautica released. So there was that, but I don't know, weird stuff. Ooh, now this guy kind of stands. He's got a bit of aura to him now. We're taking these prisoner pods. Which, by the way, I gotta say, I do like these pieces. Though I guess their use cases are a bit limited. But I think they look awesome. So trans orange is usually kind of a weak color, but because these are this kind of a double layer of it, it becomes a lot more potent. And I think that's neat. Their use case though is a bit less wholesome for, you know, wholesome Lego enjoyers. And then tube connects to this cylinder piece, and wow, that folds out quite severely. That is true. They have a unique texture. But wait, now I'm trying to think, do I have these tubes on the wrong way? Because obviously they've been shaped a certain way from just existing. Or just sort of being in one position for so long. But, I don't know. I think they are roughly correct. Well, no, even on the box art, they do kind of like stand out a little bit. So maybe this is good. I don't know. If I feel the need, maybe I'll swap them around and see what that does. Yeah, no, this thing is actually very much ending in bag 3. I'm noticing, because like we're basically out of pieces. Now we have both pods attached. And what more? Oh, I seem to have forgotten these pieces way earlier, which attach here and here. And then we've got our wings. Which attach to these pins. And that's it. We have completed the set. We've got the main aircraft. We've got this little driller. We've got a loose alien. Let me move some stuff. We've got this loose alien. We've got this hyperslide alien. We've got this hyperslide with crystals. And then we have this alien craft. Right, that's not too shabby, I think. And now for the main play feature. Or actually, no, let's take it in order. So we have, of course, the driller, in which the features include drilling. That's about it. Sort of we got a lot of that going on. And I've noticed this sort of mudguard does seem to have a bit of a purpose, where it kind of stashes this thing under it like that, so it stays then next up we've got this ship. This didn't really have anything in terms of like play features beyond just, I guess, that the aliens can stand up. Guess we'll fold them in like that. And then this thing spins. So then this thing would come in and shoot at the mining vehicle, in which the mining vehicle would escape. And this big Recon dropship would show up and do a whole lot of that. I just steal the thing because whoop, the fence piece lines up with the rubber. You see that? Now the only issue is, of course, that this fence piece is only attached with 2 studs to the main build, so I assume it's very likely that the fence just breaks off. There's a very nifty mechanic, and there's a nice click to it. It's pretty solidly in there. And this thing can land with the truck inside. And it's perfect to where the wheels then make contact, so it kind of just, I don't know, I guess it drives. But yeah, I do imagine that if I were to just pull this out, this thing could definitely break off. Yeah, then we also have the adjustable engines. We have adjustable wings. You want like one click like that. The head is adjustable, which is neat, and then these are adjustable. Oh, and of course, we have a cannon, with which I assume we can subject this poor alien to some horrors. You're potentially about to witness live as I break this alien's legs just by shooting it. It's not out of the realm of possibility, so watch and weep, I suppose. Oh, I just missed. He's spared. If only for a few seconds, as I shoot again. And I miss again. Oh, it really seems to veer off to the right. So what if I place it like that? No, that's too much. Like this. We got him. The alien is dead, but he's still intact. I'm frankly impressed that the seller was able to source 4 aliens that are all intact. That's a feat in and of itself, because these things break quite a lot. Anyway, now I've loaded up the tubes as well. But yeah, I think that's about it for this stream. We had some issues at the start, but it was fun in the end. Perhaps its popularity got a bit kneecapped by the fact that there was a slugger upload at the same time, but it happens. And I'll probably stream again sometime. I might do another garage stream where I work on the mock a little bit more. Also, I just noticed you can store this bullet in here, because there's these gaps between the lift arms, right there, so you can kind of just like slide in, so you can have like 2 extras. So that's pretty cool. But yes, are there any final thoughts from my audience on the stream, the set, the anything? I realized I shouldn't just sit here because I was looking at the replay of the stream, which is still a bit behind. Right. There was one thing I still wanted to look at. Oh yeah, the snoot does droop, that is true. One more thing I wanted to look at with the box, which I have right here. If I angle the camera up a little bit. Oh, hold on. Actually, bring the whole computer closer. Very cool. Thanks a lot. Yeah, I'll have to see what other sort of stream topics I might be able to find. Oh right, yeah, it's up here. Not just that they have the wrong minifigure, but also they advertise the whole glow in the dark thing with the aliens, which, as I'm sure we all know, is definitely not the case. Like, there's a bit of milkiness in the torso, but that doesn't do anything. But yeah, fun set. It'll go in my power miners cupboard over there if I can figure out a way to fit it, because it's currently already kind of full. But yeah, I don't think there's much more to comment on. I have some videos coming up on the Power Miners polybags and also the Booster Beast from Power Racers. Look forward to those. They will probably show up at some point. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Yeah. See ya in whatever comes next. And see you on the Discord server as well. Bye.